Welcome to the Unfuck Your Fitness podcast. I am your host, Christy Castillo, and I'm here to give you real talk and cut the BS so you can actually enjoy building a body you love. I'm a personal trainer obsessed with giving you simple action steps to take you from feeling stuck to feeling sexy. Let's go. Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for joining me for today's episode. I'm really excited about today's episode. We're going to be talking about reverse dieting. This could be a topic, something maybe you've never heard about or something that you're maybe mildly curious about, or I doubt it's something that you know all about. So I'm excited to just kind of teach this in a way and talk about it in a way that hopefully resonates with you and gets you to maybe pique your interest and think outside the box. I think sometimes talking about reverse dieting, we're so used to dieting, right? That reverse dieting can be something that's a little bit scary. So stick with me here. This is going to be a really good episode. Last week, I talked a little bit about reverse dieting, and that episode was mostly talking about how I coach my ladies to long-term success in their health and fitness journey. And a huge way that I do that is to reverse diet them. I almost have to get them to eat more food in order for them to see long-term success, because your body just needs more food generally on a consistent basis than what you are giving it. And so essentially, reverse dieting is what I am teaching my ladies. I talked about in that episode how I don't always say to my ladies that that's what we're doing, that we are reverse dieting, but essentially, that's what we are doing. And essentially, that is what's necessary for you to see the results that you're wanting. And I know that can be kind of hard to hear sometimes. I know that it was for me to understand that I needed to do less cardio to burn less calories, and to eat more calories was really hard for me to understand at first, because I feel like in society, we want to almost like do less, get more. And so that was kind of the opposite effect. So it took me a long time to get started on that, but that's what I model now. That's what I live by. And this is what I teach my ladies. And so to go from, under eating to overeating is something that is hard for my ladies to understand. But I talked last week about how most of the women who come to me for coaching are under eating, and I need to get them to, in the sense, they're going to be thinking that they're overeating, but really that's just their body at maintenance. That's really just what their body needs to be able to maintain the body that they actually want. And if not, you will go through that cycle forever of thinking, I'm not eating enough and I'm cutting out carbs and I'm restricting foods, or the only other option is to overeat and eat everything that I want. And so it's like this overeating, undereating cycle that we have all gotten stuck in. And you will be stuck in that cycle forever. Some ladies are, and I'm here to hopefully change the game for that and teach you a different way. And so today we're going to talk, like I said, about reverse dieting. You're going to hear that term a lot today. We're going to be talking about this in the context of you undereating or coming from undereating, an undereating background, or a yo-yo dieting. So I'm going to assume that, the person that mostly needs to hear this, obviously, is someone who is undereating, doesn't understand food, has a history of yo-yo dieting. And so that's the person that really needs to grasp reverse dieting. And so that's kind of the starting place for this. So a lot of us have spent time undereating, severely undereating. Like I said, a lot of women come to me wanting to start a coaching program with me or a workout program with me, and they're already eating like 1,100 calories, which is undereating. And not only are you starving yourself, actually, literally, like you're probably starving all day long, but you're also starving your body's systems that are required for basic function, like for basic baseline health. So I think a lot of times we take that health aspect out and we just think, oh, I'm just hungry and it's fine. And I don't have any energy, but it's fine. And I need to do this because I need to lose weight. We don't think about it that literally we are starving our body's systems. Our body will not function properly when we're doing that. So it's more than just you being hungry all day and not having energy and all the things that you think are okay and necessary for you to lose weight. It's way more than that. Also, If you're failing to fuel your body, you're failing to fuel your muscles for growth, and you will not even be able to build the body that you want. Most of the ladies that come to me want to build a body similar to mine in the sense that you want to look toned and you want to look strong and you want to actually be strong. And you won't be able to do that unless you are eating enough to maintain your body's, basic functions at a baseline. And then on top of that, be able to fuel your muscles for growth. So let's start there with the fact that you have to actually be feeding your body enough to be able to have your body function, hormones, metabolism, to be able to grow muscle, to be able to have energy, and all those things come along with it. So it's so important that you eat enough food. I'm just going to start with that and really drive that home. And I know I've talked about that on past episodes. And if you know me in real life, or if you follow me on Instagram, or if you're in my Team Christy Facebook page, I'm always talking about eating food. It's so important. And so some signs actually that you're not eating enough food, all of these were me at one point. I think when I heard them a few years ago, I was like, that every single one of those is me. And so just some signs to go over. If you are not eating enough food, some signs are you will have some crazy cravings, food cravings all the time, always fighting hunger. You could lose your menstrual cycle. Actually, that one I've never completely lost my menstrual cycle, but it's been on and off as far as being any sort of routine. And that could be why. Anyway, so losing your menstrual cycle could be a sign that you are not eating enough. Brittle hair and nails, dull skin, very moody, if you struggle falling and or staying asleep, constipation, if you're always cold, that's me. And if your hormones just feel all over the place, you know yourself and you know sometimes like, this is not me. Why do I feel like this? Those are signs that your body is in deprivation mode. Like you are not feeding your body enough. And so your body cannot function. And since we can't just go from depriving your body and being in that state of things to eating 2,000 calories. You can't just go from, eating 1,100 calories to eating 2,000 calories overnight. You can, but that's not the best way to do it. That's not good for your body. Your body is so smart and its main job is to protect you. And so when you are living in low calorie mode, your body, your metabolism, and your hormones have regulated to that low amount of calories, and your body is storing any kind of energy that it can to help your body function. So keep that in mind. Remember that your body is so smart. Its number one goal is to literally keep you alive. And if you're not feeding it enough, your body will store calories as fat for fuel to help your body function because your body is smart. Your body knows 1,100 calories is not enough. So any extra calories it can get will turn into fat, store it, so that you can live, so that you can survive. And your body has lived in survival mode, starvation mode, survival mode for so long that your metabolism is so adaptable. It has adapted to that low number. And most of us now, or at one time, we're living in that state. And it takes a while to get out of that state. It takes a while to get acclimated to reverse dieting. So it's important that you soak this in and really get started on this now in some form. If you are suffering from any of those, crazy signs that I said above, it's really important that you start to implement this. I am not kidding when I say it will change your life and in more than one way. And it is so worth it. It's difficult because it's not the norm. The norm is dieting and yo-yo dieting, but look where that's getting us, nowhere. So the new norm should be this. And I know that it's hard. A lot of people say that metabolism is genetics, right? I have a low metabolism. It's genetics. It's not. It's literally from your body living in starvation mode, literally your body just trying to survive. And the sooner we know that, the sooner you tell yourself like, oh, I can change this. This is not how my body has to be, because it's not. It's not. That's a flat out lie to yourself. If you're walking around saying your metabolism is fucked and it's because of your mom, you blame your family tree, that's a lie. And so it is possible for you to get out of this. Think about this. It is actually possible. And actually, this is what your body is supposed to live on. About, let's say for the average woman, 2,000 calories per day. So think about how your body feels in the state that it's in right now. If you're only eating 1,200 calories a day, 1,100 calories a day because I need to be smaller, I need to lose weight. If your body is meant to live at around 2,000, that's an estimate, but 2,000 calories, and you're only feeding it 1,100, think about how your body feels. Think about how much better you could feel. And so that's what's possible for you. But your body won't be able to metabolize that extra food as quickly, and it will be stored as fat because it can't keep up with the yo-yo dieting. And so this is where reverse dieting comes in clutch because what you've been doing is yo-yo dieting, right? Cutting out things, restricting food groups, cutting out carbs, living in a, low calorie mode. And then, well, that didn't work. And now I'm hungry and now I'm going to go off the chains, off the charts to the other way. So undereating to overeating. Your body has no idea what's going on. It's storing fat. As quickly as you eat those extra calories, it's going to store them as fat because it can't keep up. And so this is where reverse dieting, this is where we're going to start talking about reverse dieting in the sense of what it is and how you can actually do it. The point of reverse dieting is to strengthen your metabolism's efficiency gradually so that you can consume more calories without drastically changing your body composition. It is possible for you to eat way more food than you do right now and stay the same or lose weight, fat, and that's only possible for reverse dieting. So thankfully, reverse dieting will prevent this from happening. It will prevent your body from storing that excess fat that it typically does when someone goes from, let's say someone is in a, has been yo-yo dieting for years and years and years. Your body will hold on to, like I said, any excess calories in preparation for the next starvation period. So let's say you've restricted and then you went off the charts on the other way, and then you restricted again, and then you started overeating everything. Your body is getting used to that. And so when you're yo-yo dieting, when you're in the undereating mode and you're restricting everything, your body is going to hold on to anything that it can, knowing that you're going to get ready to start overeating again, right? It's going to hold on to that because it knows what's coming next. You're going to start eating all the things pretty soon. And then it's going to hold on to all of those calories because it knows what's coming next. You're going to start cutting out calories. And so it knows that's coming. It needs to get ready for you to start restricting. And so it's going to start holding on to fat, start holding on to calories for the next starvation period, and on and on and on. And so this is why someone who loses a large amount of weight will sometimes gain that weight back plus even more weight. I know you've heard that before, like, oh my gosh, I lost 30 pounds and then I gained 30 plus another 15. And it's so confusing to them, but that's because chronic dieting, yo-yo dieting, restriction, it causes permanent damage and adaptation to your metabolism. Like I said before, your body is so smart. It knows what's going on. It knows your patterns. You guys, some of you have been yo-yo dieting for 20 years. Your body knows what's coming. It knows that, okay, we've been overeating for 3 months. We know what's coming. She's about to restrict all carbs. So let's hold on to every calorie that we can because we know what she's going to do. I mean, I'm kind of laughing, but it's like, it's true. Your body knows, like, you're going to start restricting everything and your body knows it's going to starve. So it's holding on to that. And even when you do lose the weight, your body's like, I know what's happening next. She's going to start overeating again. So now you've stored some from each cycle and now it's adding up to what you've lost plus more because your body is so smart. Your metabolism has adapted to this chronic dieting, restricting, binging stage that you go through for years and years. So let's take a second to think about how long you've been doing that. Like I said this in last week's episode too, how long you've been chronically dieting and torturing your body, how long it's going to take your body to trust you again. Not as long, but it is going to take a while. So it's vital that you get your metabolism trained to process more calories so you can take care of your body. Once your body can trust you again and realizes you're going to start eating a certain amount of calories, a certain amount of proteins, fats, and carbs on a regular basis, your body will trust you and it will lose fat. You will lose the weight. You will tone up. You will gain the muscle. You will be able to digest foods. You will be able to metabolize. Your hormones will be better. And you will have this state of living that you want to be in. So, how to follow a reverse diet? Just a couple tips. You want to do it slowly. You want to do it gradually. And you want to do it consistently. Those are the three things: slowly, gradually, consistently. And you want to start it with a mindset of you're doing this to feel better. You're not doing this necessarily to lose weight quickly, to lose fat quickly, to see changes in your body. You're doing this for your body to feel better. And so you want to start with that mindset, because it's not easy. It's not easy to change something and not see results right away. And so a lot of times having help from a professional who can actually see what you've been doing and see where you want to go, like what you're eating right now, what your past is with your dieting history, and take that and see what your goals are and figure out that middle ground of how to get you from where you are now to where you want to go. Hiring a professional to calculate your macros, walk along with you. This is what I do for my clients. It literally will take years off of the process for you. It did for me, and I know that it will for you. If you're a DIYer, I am going to give you some tips on how to do this, but having someone walk along with you is very, very beneficial. So the benefits of reverse dieting, in addition to everything that I've already said, which sounds amazing, is you will have more food. Yes, you will have more food. You will have more energy. You will have improved mood. You will not be hangry anymore, which can go along with improved mood. You will be free from restricting and going back and forth from those yo-yo dieting cycles. You will have a healthy metabolism. All of those things that you're really, really looking for in general. I mean, usually when ladies come to me and they want to start working out, it's because they want to lose weight and, all of the physical aspects, this physical goals. But in the long run, what they really want is a better mood, right? To understand food, to not stress about food all the time, to not have to cut out their favorite food groups, to have their metabolism run, to have more energy. Like deep down, those are the things that you want. And reverse dieting can actually help you so much with what you actually want to get out of a diet, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally as well. This was definitely true for me. And these were not my goals. My goals up front were not to have more energy, better mood. My goals were to literally change my body. Like I wanted to look different physically. And when I started researching it, the only way I was going to be able to do that was to eat more carbs. I was already eating enough fat and enough protein. I needed to eat more carbs. It was really scary, but I trusted the process and I knew that I wouldn't be as hungry. My energy would be better. I knew that let's be honest, if I can eat more carbs, I'm going to be happier. So I knew that was a side effect that was going to be absolutely amazing. I was really, really scared for whatever reason. Even so, you guys, I was scared that I was going to eat more carbs and get fat, get fluffy, gain weight. Oh my God, all these things. And so if I'm thinking that's going to happen, I know you're thinking that's going to happen, but remember, slowly, gradually, consistently, stick with it, long-term, all those things. I had someone walking along with me so that I could tell them on the days that I felt like I wanted to quit, they would tell me not to. In my own journey, this has worked. I can't even tell you, 100% has made me, all of those things and more. And so it's definitely worth it. And this is, like I said, what I do for my ladies. My one-on-one coaching program, I'll talk about this in a little while, is definitely the way to go for understanding this. It's, what I went through in this process, and it's what I can take you through, and it changes my ladies completely, physically, mentally. It's amazing. But like I said, for those of you that want an outline to do this yourself, I'm going to give it to you right now. And so this is kind of a little blueprint on how to literally take yourself from where you are now to where you want to go. And this is the way to kind of get there. And so what this looks like is, like I said, eating more food. And so number one, you want to track your calories. I use MyFitnessPal. I use the free version. You want to get on MyFitnessPal and you just want to track what you're currently eating for 5 to 7 days. No judgment. Doesn't matter what you're eating. This will be eye-opening for you. But the goal is to look back at those 5 to 7 days. You want to enter every single thing you put in your mouth. Every single calorie needs to go into MyFitnessPal. No judgment. Like I said, we all have a starting place, and trust me, mine wasn't pretty. You want to look back and kind of take an average of those 5 to 7 days and say, okay, this is where I'm at. And then you want to bump it up a little bit because we're going to gradually up that, right? So take where you are right now and bump that up by these increments. So you want to take where you're at, average that out for 5 to 7 days. Do not go any less than 5 days, please. Track your calories for 5 days. So my recommendation for protein is 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of your body weight or your goal body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds right now, and I'm telling you to eat 200 grams of protein a day, that can be excessive. We're not going to do that right off the bat. If your goal weight is 140, make that 140 grams of protein, make that your goal protein daily. So 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of your actual body size or per pound of your goal body weight. That can be dependent on you, of course. And so take where you're at, bump that up to start hitting that protein amount right away. Increase your fats and your carbs. So take your fats and your carbs wherever they are right now and increase them by 10%. But I want you to make sure that you are at 100 gram carb minimum. So if you take your current carbs and you up that by 10% and you're at like 90 grams because you're really under eating carbs right now, if you take that and you like I said, up it by 10%, you're only at 90 grams, up it to 100. I don't want you at any less than 100 grams of carbs minimum. And then same for your fat as far as the 10% increase. So take those numbers, keep those numbers for 3 to 6 weeks. Stick with it. Do not give up. At least 3 weeks. I want you to stick with those numbers for 3 weeks. I know it's not going to be easy, but I want you to stick with it for 3 weeks for sure. If you can, and you can, it would be amazing if you stuck with it for 6 weeks. And the reason is because it gives your body a longer period of time to adjust to that. You do it for longer. And so actually sometimes at that 3-week mark, you can still be like, oh, I'm a little bit bloated. I feel a little fluffy. Your body is just kind of starting to adjust to it. By the end of the 6 weeks of those same numbers, this is why I do a 6-week program with my ladies. By the end of the 6 weeks, a lot of times you still might not see weight loss or fat loss or inches lost, but you are feeling, actually, you probably will see inches lost. You will see decreased bloating. You will feel leaner. You will look leaner in your clothing. And so you will see a lot more change, obviously, at the end of 6 weeks because you're doing it longer. The longer you can do this, the better you will feel. And this will cut down on fat gain. So if you were to just jump right in and up this super quickly, your body could at the very beginning gain some fat because of what I said earlier. Your body is like, oh God, what are we doing now? We're going to hold on to these calories, turn it into fat and store it for later. At the end of 3 weeks, maybe your body is still doing that. At the end of 6 weeks, your body is starting to trust you. And so it will have cut down on the fat gain. And so the longer you can do this, that would be amazing. So your body is going to feel so much different at the end of those 3 or 6 weeks. Don't go any less than 3. And at the end of 6 weeks max, I want you to increase your fats and carbs again by another 10% and make sure you keep your protein at wherever your body weight is at that point in time. Keep it still at that 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound or per pound of your goal body weight. This is your baseline. So you're going to do that for the 3 to 6 weeks. That is your baseline. Write those numbers down. That's your baseline. So important. And then, like I said, at the end of the 3 or 6, however impatient or patient you are, up that again, fats and carbs by 10% and keep your protein at 0.8 to 1 gram. Protein will always stay there, by the way. So keep in mind that you're doing this to increase your metabolism, increase your food intake. Your goals need to be that. That is your goal, not weight loss, not lost inches. You can track on like I think it's called Renfo scale. There's an app that comes with it and you can see fat loss and, weight loss and metabolic info. That scale is absolutely amazing. Actually, by the way, got one on Amazon. Let me know if you need the link. But it's really good to see actual changes more than just your body weight. Other than that, do not focus on the weight loss or the inches lost at this time. Remember, this is a process. This is something that is long-term. It's not going to be bad. I don't mean to make it sound like you're going to gain a ton of weight. You're not. You should stay exactly the same. But remember that your goal is increased metabolism, increased food intake, increased energy, all those things, not the numbers. And that's, again, why having someone help you is so important, is so key, because this is hard. Society doesn't like to go slow and to be consistent, but this is the only way that you win. I know this is a little bit of a different topic today, especially for a podcast. I know I gave you some tangible, tips to do this yourself, some actual facts on what reverse dieting is. And I know that this is a little bit of a different topic. And so thank you for sticking with me. I really hope that this made sense. Since I touched on it last week, I wanted to be able to go into more detail today. I did not go into full out descriptive scientific, numerology on this because that can be boring and not something that it can just confuse you even more. And so I really, really hope that this did make sense. What is next? If you are a DIYer, I want you to follow those tips above and get started on reverse dieting if you're ready. If you need more one-on-one help, you can go to the show notes for this episode and click the link for my private coaching. This is my descriptive coaching program where I teach you and guide you this process and many other processes in 12 weeks that you can take away so much and you will know how to maintain after. My goal with this program is for you to feel like you will not need a coach forever. I know, a lot of us do this, dieting situation for like 20 plus years and we feel like we never actually know what's going on or understand our bodies. My goal is to coach you in a way that you feel like you don't need a coach forever. And that is what my private coaching looks like. Of course, there's details there in the link, but I am always here for questions. You can head over to my Instagram, Christy Castillo Fit. My free Facebook group is called Team Christy. You can click to join that over on Facebook or, of course, via email. Wherever you can find me, you can reach out and ask me questions about this, about my coaching, about anything. I am always here for you, and I will talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to today's show. Go ahead and leave a rating and a review. And of course, follow the podcast so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And I would love it so much if you came to connect with me over on Instagram at Christy Castillo Fit. I will see you next time.